Alright, good evening, everybody. I'm Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you in the USA Severe Weather Network Center. We have our first severe thunderstorm warning, and it promised to be a long and stormy even tonight. We have our first severe thunderstorm warning in place, so we'll probably just leave the stream up with the mute button on in a second, but we'll start with this severe thunderstorm warning, and this goes into effect into about 6:15 north central Jackson County and central Oklahoma. So, just hold on a second. North central second. North central Jackson County, north central Oklahoma, and central Kingston County, and north central, south central Oklahoma to 6:15. At 5:23, severe thunderstorm located near Friendship, moving northeast around 45 miles an hour. This is booking at 45, folks. Hazards, golf ball size hail and 60 miles of wind gusts. So, tornado watch remains in effect for the warmed area. So, hail is going to be the biggest concern with winds over 60 miles an hour with this. So, we'll zoom in. And, sorry about that. And you can see animation, and you can see storms have been developing the last couple hours. And we do have that tornado watch. We do have a moderate risk in place. Just a second here. Trying to get everything saved to my phone. We're not one to shut the live stream off. We want to leave it up since this is a moderate risk day. So I'm going to leave it up. So this warning goes through 6:15. Looks like 6:15. That's the severe thunderstorm warning in place. So we'll check in with winds. Yep, and you can see winds up to 60 miles an hour. So just move away from windows and let the storm pass you. And you got the potentially for some very large hail with this. And this is just telling you we can see storms developing. So if this is the first storm, you definitely want to take the storm really seriously. There could be some very large hail with that. So we will continue to keep you informed. More cells are forming. These storms are isolated from each other. These are why we're concerned with tornadoes, because they separate from each other. So we will continue to keep you informed. I'm not going to shut the stream down. We're going to keep it up. And if we see any new warnings, we'll pop on. For right now, I'm going to shut the mic off. Alright, good evening everybody. This is a live severe weather briefing. Again, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning down here right now, so for parts of Oklahoma. So now we're going to have to switch gears. This is because we have a tornado warning in process. So we're going to stay in coverage for this event. So what we're going to do is let me move the radar in to be coming in eventually. So let me go in here and put the pause here, and we'll read the tornado text here. This is a tornado warning for north central Compton County and central Oklahoma, Canco County and north central Oklahoma, and 2 rounds 6:30. At 5:39, it's about a few minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles east of Warren, moving northeast around 35 miles an hour. So, a hazardous tornado went up to tennis ball size hail. So definitely, you in the storm, definitely get to shelter. This is a tornado warning. If you in or Cove Springs, Copperton, you need to get to shelter. You're under a tornado warning. This is a radar indicated tornadoes. We do not have nothing has been sighted on the ground yet, but this is a tornado warning that goes through 6:30, and you can see very strong signs of rotation with this. Red next to green, that'd be home second. Gate to gate sheared. We got winds coming in, winds coming out. So that is a pretty much strong sign of rotation. So if you live in these storms, you need to be into a tornado safe spot. Get centered, get covered, go to the lowest floor of a building, put a mattress between you. That'll always protect yourself of flying debris. So this is a tornado warning that goes in effect into around 6:30 this evening. This is a strong sign of rotation. So let's see, we'll check in with our correlation, our dual pol. If I see any debris, there could be a little something there. We'll have to watch that. Let me analyze this and see if we have any debris with this. And we don't right now, so that's some good news. But we'll check in for hail, because this storm still looks like it's capable of producing up to tennis ball size hail. So that is a very strong sign of some strong wind sheared. And we get one report of just 1 inch hail. So definitely this is a storm that is capable of producing a strong signs of rotation. And that's why we're on right now, to keep you informed. And I'm trying to look online and see if we have any. If we have anybody.
Audience.
Sorry about that, folks. Trying to see if we have any updates here now, or any photos of this before we. Because, like I said, it's going to be a long evening. So if you've been with us in the last couple hours, Tornado Watch goes through 10. So right now, we'll take a look here again. Nothing has been sighted on the ground. But this storm is showing me very large hail, and this is booking at 35 miles an hour. So let's put the velocity in. A little bit of red next to green. That is some pretty strong signs of some sheared. And that still looks very strong. So if you're in this area, get to shelter. Get to the lowest floor of your home. Put many walls between you as possible. This is a tornado warning, and we've been warning you the last couple days that this is going to be an active, stormy even. And just seeing we have any debris with this. And right now we don't have any debris with this. So that's some good news. We don't have any debris aloft. So That's one thing. Checking this little curvy hook here. Just while we're on there, I like to see if we have any rotation, any more couplets, because any storm that does develop today is going to be very strong. And that's why we do, I'm concerned that we'll see tornadoes with each one of these sails. And there's another one trying to form there too. Let me check in with our potential for hail, and that's really growing. But I'm going to see what the rotation shows. So there could be 2 tornado warnings trying to spin up. This one's very strong sign of rotation. If you live in Cold Spring, Roosevelt, or Copperton, you need to be taking your tornado precaution areas now. This storm is very strong signs of strong rotation, and we could be getting spin up tornadoes, and this is still that tornado we could be getting. So you definitely need to be in your tornado precaution area right now. I'm trying to look through here, see if we have any photos coming in now. That runs through 6:30. That warning does. Just I'm making sure that we don't have any. Let's see. End of the end eventually. And these are discrete sails. I've been telling you a lot. This is not normally good. Alright, we're still doing this tornado activity. Tornado warning continues to about 6:30. And just the National Weather Service is just continuing to issue new advisories, folks. So let me take a look here. New severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Jackson County, north central Oklahoma, south central Kenku County, and north central Oklahoma, north central Timothy County, north central Oklahoma to 6:15. 5:45 is severe thunderstorm located along the line extending from Edmonton, moving northeast around 30. So 60 miles of wind gusts and quarter size hail with this. So the other one is a damaging wind threat up to around 60 miles an hour. So, and you can see any of these storms could produce some wind damage. Like we already have quarter size hail with that storm, and that other one goes through 6:15. Main risk is going to be some damaging winds with that one also too. And there's been storms that have been producing up a tennis ball. So we'll check in with our tools, and you can see that is some very large hail there, 1.5, and checking for sheared, and there is some wind shear. So if you're in this polygon, now's the time to take your tornado precaution areas, is go to the lowest floor, because these storms are very tight. So back out closely again. Tornado warning continues about almost 6. Looks like pull up about 6:30 again. These storms are producing rotation, and so far Alright, we're back. we have a couple tornado warnings. That one warning goes through about another 30 minutes or so. This expire. It's mainly now the tornado warning is booking northeast around 40 miles an hour. Hazardous 3-inch hail in diameter. So this storm is really getting powerful. We're starting to get 3-inch hail and 3-inch hail. So that's still large enough to cause some problems. Yeah, look at this. Gosh. Are you kidding me, folks? This is some very large hail. Is really falling with this a tornado warning. You definitely want to be in your tornado precaution area, because we're getting reports of we just got what the text is showing now. It's booking at 40 miles an hour, and we having some decent large hail up to 3 inches in diameter. So that is a lot of hail that is falling with those sails, and definitely that's not even good.
Severe thunderstorm warning for 3 ominous looking skies. We're going to have a lot of low hanging clouds tonight, and that could allow for multiple walk up.
So far, I have not got any new reports coming in yet. And that's why we're continuing to watch this. I'm just looking here on my computer here, my phone and my computer, and we're starting to get these individual sails, and that's and the echo tops. Look at this, goodness gracious, folks! We're starting to get almost very strong echo tops. So these storms are very powerful. I mean, they're very strong and very powerful to have. So these storms are going to have very strong, potent storms. So this runs through 6:30 this evening. We still got some rotation with that, and you can see still strong sign of rotation. So if you live in Friendship, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning that goes through around. We'll back out. And so far we're not having any tornado emergencies any. Like I said, we're not going to roll out any strong tornadoes, but this is a big environment with these sails are just popping up, and the air is just right. So we'll check in with our correlation tool that I like using, and this will tell me if we have any debris aloft. These are thunderstorms, so I'm not looking at that, but I'm taking a look at the hail. It's very large hail with this one storm. This tornado warning goes into effect at 6:30 this evening. And checking here, make sure we don't have any and this tornado warning will go through 6:30 this evening. So, looking at these other sails down here where we're on, they don't looks like they have much of the rotation with them. But you know, these storms are going to really get together, and they can really do it. This is the type of environment that we've been discussing the last couple days. That looks like very potent rotation, red and extra green. That is some gate-to-gate shear, very strong sheared. And there's a little something right there. I don't know if that's a debris ball or that's just something we need to be keeping an eye on, but that still shows some pretty strong rotation. So we only got one tornado warning that runs through 6:30 this evening. We don't have nothing on the ground quite yet. Just a second, folks. So we, let's see, we got all these sails. That severe thunderstorm wind goes through about at 5:53. Severe thunderstorm is located. Now we're getting some more reports of some 80 miles, not reports, but the Texas keep going up for some very strong winds. So just a second here. Alright, we're just looking at one of these severe thunderstorm warnings again. This one over here by Mountain Park area. It's still capable of producing up to tennis ball size hail. And that's still large to cause some problems. And also we got a severe thunderstorm warning at 5:53. It's the leading edge of the winds from severe thunderstorm was located along the line on from the Air Force Base to 4 miles of the hemisphere, or 4 miles southwest of Templeton, moving east at 50 miles an hour. Winds up to 79 miles an hour was measured at the Atkinson, and this is a destructive storm for Rick Tipperton. Hazards 80 miles of wind gusts and quarter size hail. So this storm down here is capable of producing winds over 80 miles an hour. And folks, that's still going to tear things up. We're going to see some destructive winds with this that probably tear stuff up. Definitely you need to be taking your just the same precautions as a tornado, is just getting away from the windows. Go to the lowest floor. I would just just go to the basement. This is a storm that we could see some wind damage to. And definitely we don't really need any other damage to reports to do any problems with. So we definitely need to be keeping that in mind. It's just taking cover, because this storm is capable of producing wind damage with it. And we still have I'm reading online and see if we have any pictures of trees down quite yet. It could be kind of early for that. But right now I have no photos coming in, so that still could be some good news that we don't have no photos coming in yet. So right now we're going to stay with the long. We have that one tornado warning process, and we're starting to get more likely of wind damage coming in, and especially that one tornado warning that goes through with the 3-inch hail. So let me pull that up and look at this. Goodness gracious, folks! If you live in Rose Vent area, Cold Springs, you're in this Cropperton, you definitely need to be to your tornado shelter, because this is producing some very large hail with that up to 3 inches. And looking at a correlation just to see if there's any debris, and there's really not quite yet. So that's some good news that we don't have nothing no debris with this. I locked it, so that's some good news. But that doesn't mean we will with this. So checking for some other storms are forming. Make sure they don't have any. So severe thunderstorm warning for up to tennis ball size hail. And you can see the tennis ball is just very large. It can dent stuff up. So we'll check in with our tracks, see what this is going to go to next. I still think this over here by Cropper area, that still looks very strong. But we go over here, we'll keep things animating here and see what we have. You still got these storms moving in, and these do have capability of producing winds over. Looks like we had that one report of 70 measured. Alright, I'm going to have to switch some gears here. I think something's trying to light up in black, and it looks like we've got to have to switch gears, folks. We have a confirmed tornado right now, and I was not going to, like I said, I'm not surprised about it. Alright, at 6:01, alright, what we got here? This runs through 6:30 for Conklin counties. At 6:01, a confirmed tornado was located 4 miles south of Copeton, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. So, this is booking at 40 miles an hour, folks. Hazards, damaging tornado, and a 3-inch hail. So, this, if you live in Copeton area, you need to be taking your tornado precaution areas right now. This storm is a damaging tornado. You need to be seeking shelter. Go to the lowest floor of the building. Put a mattress between you. A air mattress. Not an air mattress. A regular mattress to protect yourself from flying debris. And also put a helmet. That would actually protect yourself from flying debris. Do not go out there and take any photos of this. This is a damaging tornado. This is a tornado that could actually excuse me, tear things up, and we definitely don't want to actually have all that. So if you live in that area, you definitely need to get to your tornado precaution area right now. So right now, you just joined me, we have a tornado warning. This is a tornado, a damaging tornado, and you could see what we got here. Looks like we have no debris yet, but this storm is very strong, and it's booking around 40 miles an hour. And very large hail with that one too, so you definitely need to be taking your tornado precaution area right now. So we're continuing to track tornado warnings. If we figure we'll get a break for a minute, and two things would really kick in gear, and this is why we're continuing to let you know. Alright, right now I'm on looking online when I'm on the same thing with you, just to see if we have any photos of that damage and tornado, because I always kind of want to see it. Let me see if yeah, and some of the rain could also blind these tornadoes a lot. Alright, still got the tornado warning in process. Alright, zoom in here just for a minute, and you can see that it's booking around 40 miles an hour. And Mountain Park, you're in the severe thunderstorm warning also too. And the National Weather Service, I think they just went with a new warning that runs through 7 p.m. North Central Ouachita County and North Central Oklahoma, North Central Copeton County, and South Central Oklahoma. let's see here, Campbell County, south central Oklahoma, south central Kankakee County, and southwestern Oklahoma to 7 p.m. At 6:04, severe thunderstorm was located 4 miles northeast of Copperton, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. And this is another storm, but we really got to take seriously. This storm is the destructive storm northeast of Nucopacane in Dakota County. So 3-inch hail and 60 miles of wind gusts. So we could see some very large hail with the storm. And just check here. I'll see. Sorry about that. And let me pull over here and take a look. I'll have to update. Will have to come through here. But you can see rotation has been really strong on each one of these sails. So we could still be getting some very strong signs of rotation. The damaging tornado is still capable of producing up to 3-inch hail, and that's still enough to cause some damage. So you definitely want to be in a safe spot. Tornado warning continues around 6:30. Still shows very tight signs of wind shear, and that still looks like it could cause some problems. So if you live in that area, and this area, you need to be taking your tornado precaution area right now. See, the volume still up. Just a second here. And we still got that tornado warning that goes through about 6:30. So let's see. Let's switch back. I got some reports coming in. All right, folks. Let me change the volume up. Make sure things are operating right. We just had a report coming in of Track in here and see what this is. This is from the surface. So we had something come in of some kind of tornado, and we just had a report coming in of winds measured over 75 miles an hour. So this is a tornado. Now the tornado warning that we did have, let me see if that's right, or we still have, alright, damage and tornado still in place. So we did have something develop, and you can see very strong signs of rotation. This is very tight. So if you're in this tornado polygon, the pink color box, you need to go to a tornado safe spot, get centered, get cover, go to the lowest floor of the building. Do not go out there and take any photos of this, because this could be very dangerous. And this is why we've been on the last couple days trying to tell you that these have been very dangerous storms. So we need to be aware of that. So right now, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning has just got in place with this, I think. This severe thunderstorm warning for Wichita, South Central Wichita, and North Central Cottman County, North Central Oklahoma, Coke County, North Central Oklahoma, and Kitticook County, South Central Oklahoma to 7 p.m. At 6:04, severe thunderstorm located North Central Copeton, moving northeast around 55 miles an hour. So this is booking at 55. So a 3-inch hail, 60 miles of wind gusts. So we're getting some more reports coming. This storm will be capable of producing some very large hail with it. And let's see, change velocity in. And there could be some strong to straight line damage and straight line winds with this. And we could even get another spin up tornado. That's not out of the question. So that's what we need to be keeping that in mind as we continue with our coverage. Alright, we're just getting some more information come in now, as we've been on with you for the last the last 47 minutes. I've been with you. We got more reports coming in now. So let me take a look here. We're getting reports of Jackson, Oklahoma, of 75 miles of gust. We had reports of 65 miles of gust. So that's thunderstorm wind gusts, and reports of quarter-size hail. But that's not surprising. With the storm, we did have 79 miles an hour. So that is enough to turn buildings and windows. You don't want to go out there and take any photos of any of these storms today. Alright, that line of thunderstorm warnings have got taken off. Now we just got the tornado warning and the severe thunderstorm warning that goes through about 7 p.m. And also this tornado warning goes through 6:30. So once the tornado warning expires on here, alright, just before I said that, we have another tornado warning has been issued. So we'll be staying with you. This tornado warning goes in effect North Central Copeton County and North Central Oklahoma, Eastern Kentucky County, and South Central Oklahoma at about 7 p.m. At 6:14, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located 9 miles south of Copeton, moving east at 45 miles an hour. So this is booking at 45. So hazards. Tornado and tennis ball size hail. So we'll zoom in here just a little closely, and I'll pull velocity up. There is some pretty strong shear with this. Red next to green, gate to gate shear. So we could be getting another possible tornado with this one sail. So you definitely need to be getting into your tornado safe spot. Go to the lowest floor of the building. Take these storms seriously tonight. I don't want anybody on the road chasing these. This is a particularly dangerous situation tonight. I mean, these sails are very deadly. It's why you have to take them very seriously, and this is why we've been trying to let you know from the last couple days. This has been very bad. You know, we've been forecasting this. I've been forecasting this and looking at models and but everything we can see, and now and we've been seeing this the last couple days. So we'll switch out of here. See what else we got. What else we come up with? New cells to form in any one of these here. I'm going to take a look here. Are capable of producing some strong rotation. That is starting to tie it up right over here by Kentucky corner area. The corner area of that area. That is starting to tie it up too. If that continues, we'll be having a severe thunderstorm warning or maybe even a tornado warning with that too. So we have to watch all these cells that due to form today. Is because these could turn into some very strong storms, and this one's producing up to tennis ball size hail. And right now we'll see if we got any photos coming in of anything while we're here. Just a second, I'll be right back. Alright, good afternoon, good evening everybody. Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you. Back with you in the Breaking Weather Center. We just have another tornado warning at Storm Still in effect at 7 p.m. But we have a new tornado warning in process. And looks like we'll be staying with you. Central Greeley County and Central Oklahoma, South Central Colton County, North Central Oklahoma, and to 7:45. At 6:45, a spotter reported a tornado 4 miles southwest of Ogden, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Hazards: golf ball size hail and damaging tornado and golf ball size hail with this. So this is another tornado, a damaging tornado. We'll check in with our velocities. Very strong sheared. Very strong. So you definitely need to be shaking shelter. Lowest floor, ground floor would be the safest place to be in. Like a basement would be the safest place to be in too with these events. Just a second here. Isaac will be on eventually with us when he gets. Just a second here. And you can see that tornado, let's see, that goes through about 1 goes through 7:45, very strong rotation. And we'll check in with our dual pole, see if we have any debris. We don't really have any, but this is a tornado, a confirmed tornado with golf ball size hail with it. And we'll switch in with our, and look at this. Goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? Very large hail with this. If this is a tornado. Alright, just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, so we'll be staying with you just for a little while. This storm is capable of producing winds over 60 miles an hour, and it's also the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for north central Composite County, north central Oklahoma, Grady County, north central Oklahoma, Colton County, north central Oklahoma, and Kentucky County and north central Oklahoma to 7:45. At 6:56, a severe thunderstorm was located along a line extended 4 miles south of the Lake Chassaluca, moving to 5 miles north of Kentman, to 4 miles west of Lake Wassa, moving at northeast around 50 miles. A tornado warning has also in effect for Ogden and Greedy's with a severe thunderstorm warning. So with golf ball size hail with this. So we're going to see some very large hail. So if you live in any of these polygons, take cover, folks. Do not go out there and take any photos of these storms. This is a life-threatening situation. We do not want anybody to go out there taking photos of this situation. I just got some new information, so hold on. Alright, we're back. We still got severe thunderstorm warnings and even that one tornado warning that goes through about 7:45. And also we got a severe thunderstorm warning for 7:45 too. I think we read over those storms, golf ball size hail and 60 miles of wind. And we also got some more cells down to the south of us. And these are severe thunderstorm warnings. They're capable of producing winds over 70 miles an hour. So that's still enough to cause some significant damage, folks. So definitely you need to be aware of that. So just join this. I'll be right back. I got to get me some coffee since I'll talk for a little while. Alright, we're back here. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning, even a tornado warning in process here. So we'll read the text to you. North Central Jefferson County, South Central Oklahoma, North Central Stephanie County, North Central Oklahoma, Colton County, North Central Oklahoma, North Central Clay County, and North Central Oklahoma, North Central Wichita County, northeastern Texas into 7:45. At 6:53, a severe thunderstorm was located near Burton, moving east at northeast around 50 miles an hour. So these storms are booking at 50 miles an hour, folks. Hazard 70 miles of wind gusts and quarter-size hail with this. So, like I said, these storms are booking around 50 miles an hour. Tornadoes can quickly spin up with these storms also too. But we'll zoom in here to this one severe thunderstorm warning. Very strong wind, so we can get some damage and straight line winds with this. That could put down trees. So the best thing to do in that warning is just get away from the windows. Make sure you are in the basement in case that one tree will fall on top of you. So just do that. Would be the best thing. I'm looking on Facebook and see if we have any new updates here. And right now, I'm just reading here, just seeing if we got any pictures. Might kind of be early because, it's getting dark, hard to see stuff. Okay, I don't have any feeds, any photos coming in. Isaac will be coming in eventually when he gets near to a computer. Let's see. Looking at for potentially how much hail we got here. That's only said quarter size, but it looks like it could drop more larger than quarter size. So definitely you want to still be in the lowest floor on the center part of your house. Just get away from, even a closet would be a safe place in this one storm. 60 miles of wind gusts with this one storm. Alright, the National Weather Service had just continued to add advisories because this line of storms is, like I tell you, it was coming into a line. As you remember this morning when I was talking about and looking at the models, this is going to come into a line of thunderstorms where we could just see more of a straight line to spin up tornado threat. And that's what we're trying to tell you right now that we could be having is that. This is one of these storms we've been talking about for the last couple days. So right now, let's take a look at the severe thunderstorm warnings in process right now, and we'll look at that. I'm going to look at these new storms that run through 7:45. So we'll have to look at that one in a minute. But this new severe thunderstorm warning here, north central Jefferson County. Okay, north central Jefferson County and Clay counties, that is for 60 miles of wind. We already read that. And part of this is mainly for 60 miles of wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So this might just become a hail threat because they're not separate from each other. They're in a line. That's what makes them straight like that. North central Stephanie counties in north central Texas. Puritan County in north central Texas. At 7:02, severe thunderstorm is located near Mbex or 13 miles south of Appleton, moving northeast at 65 miles an hour. So, folks, this is booking at 60 miles of wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So let's put our velocity in. There could be every now and then I do see some sheared. Like I said, I'm starting to notice like some wind sheared winds coming in and winds going out. That's an add-on to the tornado feel. That's what I'm kind of worried about. So definitely we do have that chance of we could see a tornado. I mean, definitely just make sure you are taking these storms very seriously. So right now we have a severe thunderstorm warning continuing and those tornado warnings in process here. So let's go back to radar and we'll switch that back. And you can see we have one report of a 60 miles of wind, and that was at an airport. We'll be starting to get 70 miles of wind gusts down here and $half size hail. So once we start seeing 70, you're going to get trees to topple easy. And this may not even be tornado damage, folks. Down here, I'm concerned we'll see some significant wind damage that we need to be aware of. So spin-ups are always possible. I'm going to roll that out. And there's some potentially for some very large hail at this. 7:45, that storm runs there. We still got the tornado warning in process. We'll switch that back to velocity. And this tornado warning is a damaging tornado. Take cover immediately. And like I said, the storm says here, if you and people in the Vernon area and the Chickasaw should take cover now. Do not wait on these tornadoes, folks. I don't want people to go out there and look for the tornado or take any photos of this. Just get the shelter. Just get the shelter. The best thing to do. And be safe and sorry, because this is a damaging tornado. We could see some strong sheared. I mean, there's going to be strong wind sheared with this. And that's why we're trying to tell you, you know, I just got some information coming in from some of our forecasters here. Donald said Chickasaw is going to take a direct hit. I think so too, Donald, that it's going to happen. So if you live in Chickasaw area here, you need to get to shelter now. This is a very strong sign of rotation. This is a damaging tornado. You need to get to shelter now. And like I said, this is a strong sign of rotation. This is a damaging tornado. Very strong sign of rotation. And checking for debris, we could be seeing something. And these storms are producing some very strong wind sheared. And like I said, we have one report up to 2-inch hail that reported in Poise City area. So that just tells me we're starting to see lots of hail with these storms. And that's what we have to watch. So right now, hold on just a second. Alright, you still have this one tornado warning process. So this tornado warning continues into around, let me check the computer, about the 7:45. This tornado has been on the ground. So if you live in Chucksell area, that's what I'm trying to say. You live in Chucksell, you need to get to your tornado safe spot now. This is a tornado is on the ground, a damaging tornado. Weather spotters have confirmed this. So if you live in Chucksell, you need to get there now. And don't take any photos of this. The storm is very strong signs of rotation with it. So like I said, we've been warning you for the last couple days on these storms like this, and you can see there is some very large hail. So we definitely have been watching these storms and been warning you from the last couple days that we could see some damaging winds. Very large hail has been one of the keys today. So we need to be aware of that. So, let's see. Let's go back to radar. Starting to get a little kink in the line again. Anytime you get these little small kinks, it brings rotation, just like this. Starting to get a little of a spin there. Let me back up a little bit. You can see. We'll have to watch that, because anytime you get a spin like this in Oklahoma, you could get a tornado that spins up today. So checking our dual pole, see if we have anything in there. I just don't see it right now, but looking at our, this very strong sign of some wind sheared. And severe thunderstorm warning is going to affect around 7:45 with winds over 70 miles an hour. And this is enough to break buildings. You know, you want to get some wind damage. You want to get some sheds that blown over. This is a situation where we don't want you on the roads right now. So we want you to be in a safe spot, let this stuff pass, and like that. We're trying to been letting you know that this has been some very strong sheared about all day. So so we'll animate this again, see what we got. We're still watching the tornadoes pop in, and I'm just going to continue to adjust up tonight. Just take the time and do this. Just read something here. Put my fancy glasses back on. Just read something from meteorologist Aaron. He's saying everyone around that area, and he circled the area, take cover if you live in that. Especially if you live in that tornado polygon. Just reading some things on Facebook. And 7 minutes ago from Tornado Alley people saying if you live in Chucksa area, in Oklahoma, just get ready to take cover. These storms, these sails are very tight. You're having a lot of rotation, and the severe thunderstorm threat is just going to continue this evening, and this is going to go on for the night. We'll be here. And Isaac's coming in with me also, too, eventually, when he gets some time. So, right now, let's see, we are at 7:17. We're still tracking severe weather. I got a new circulation trying to form there where those markers are picking up. Right over here by Notch area. You definitely need to be careful because some of these storms could indicate of some more rotation. And get rotation quickly. And the storms could rotate. And that's why we're continuing to watch this. And this tornado wind will be moving out of the warmed area just eventually. So we'll see what actually happens eventually and decide from there. So hold on just a second.
Test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Am I on?
All right,
1, 2.
Isaac, can you hear me?
Yes. Give me one moment. Refresh. Okay. What I might want to do here later in the segment here is we might have to initiate as we get into the priority feed activation. We will probably need to generate a new feed, and I'll do a promo and a share, try to get more followers and base in this vicinity, because we are definitely looking at some broad impacts with this setup. So I'm gonna pull up what I'm seeing here. So you definitely can see. Can you turn your volume down? We're getting feedback.
Here, I'll just.
All right. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're probably muted on the other end. Yeah, definitely looking at a pretty serious situation here in the areas immediately west of the Oklahoma City area as we speak. We have a tornado likely in progress here. This would be in Grady County, east of Chickasha. We're still awaiting some further developments here in the Chickasha vicinity. This would be around Highway 62 near the Middleburg area. Still some fairly decent rotation with that. And looking at some of these reflectivity values, likely some significant hail that is ongoing here up the I-44 corridor, heading into the Bridge Creek in the Newcastle area. And again, we see some very broad severe thunderstorm warnings ahead of this line for not only the potential for wind damage, definitely where we're seeing those more significant updrafts, maybe hail, upwards of potentially 2 inches, maybe localized tennis ball size.
Wow.
And they pretty much have the entire segment of the line warned, for pretty much tennis ball hail.
Yeah,
and
I just
gusts
got
of
a
70 miles per hour.
I just got a report coming in of 80 miles of wind from Donald. He said.
Yeah, and again, we've had some various reports at this point of some significant winds. We have some more reports coming in of potential gusts approaching between 60 and some areas even 80 miles per hour, as high as 80 miles per hour.
Yeah,
we're
that's
still
strong.
Waiting the yeah, I was going to say I'll have to keep the NWS chat open so I can await even more spotted reports. The Yukon report, Yukon is up in here, and you can see, look at those outbound velocities, or rather, those really tight inbounds, I should say, heading into the radar. You see those light greens there. So what we're likely seeing here is some very strong downburst gusts with this, and again, this is pretty much along and just south of Yukon towards the Mustang area. I think that's where the strongest winds are as we speak here. I'm gonna put this in motion here. Again, you can definitely see some broad impacts here across the areas west of the Oklahoma City, down pretty much right on top of the Interstate 44 corridor, points south of Oklahoma City, and then the entire Oklahoma City vicinity now warned. And we also do have another cell up here in Guthrie County and Kingfisher County here. Definitely looks to be some potential for hail with this setup. Looks like we got a hail core that's going to be approaching the Crescent vicinity there. That will be tracking into areas around Guthrie, and that would be rather make that Logan County. Again, we're going to be following this fairly closely because there is definitely that potential here if that rotation holds. I was going to say, still looks fairly tight with the outbounds here. Again, we're seeing some significant inflow here, and likely what I'm gonna check out here is the echo tops with that. And I might have to download some composite radar data here from the past several scans here. And yeah, it looks like the heights are maintaining with that. So likely what we're seeing is this cell here has definitely a very good chance of holding together
I think
as
so
it
too.
moves to McLean County into Cleveland County, the southern Oklahoma City metro. And you can see here, this is where the KTLX radar site is here.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is where Norman and Moore are located. Moore's more right up here. But you see the vast majority of the central and northern parts of McLean into Cleveland, or pretty much the entire McLean and Cleveland County areas are going to be in this severe threat for the potential wind damage. But this is the area we're more concerned about for that tornado, and there is definitely a very good possibility this looks to be holding together. So a tornado warning will probably be issued soon.
Okay, we got a report coming in, Isaac.
Cleveland County.
80 miles of gust has been
Yes.
reported again in Chickasaw County.
Yes, we're going to be taking a few moments to confirm those reports. Again, we're getting a lot of local storm reports coming in. Yeah, Chickasaw and Grady County. Yeah, several reports coming in of winds ranging from 60 to 70 miles per hour with that line. Considerable damage threat for National Weather Service Norman. And also an ASOS site in El Reno, also getting some significant wind gusts near 70 miles per hour. Another one in Chickasaw Airport, 81.7 miles per hour observed at the ASOS in Chickasaw. So what we're likely seeing here, again, considerable damage threat with that warning. And it is very possible that what we're likely seeing here with the heights kind of receding a bit. I'm gonna switch to the I might do composite velocity if I can. And composite reflectivity kind of gives me a better idea. There we are, base reflectivity. So as we can see on the composite scale here, what we're likely seeing, again, that is a really strong supercell down here, and you can see pretty much along this all this activity here, and you can see the northern flank of that, the strong downdraft winds with that kind of rotating along that column. Likely that's what's feeding all this activity up here.
Yeah, that's what's feeding it, Isaac.
And what I'm kind of paying attention to is you see that core that kind of comes and goes. That is likely where we're seeing some strong downburst gusts with that. So, and again, as we've seen here, potential reports ranging from 60 to as high as even 82 miles per hour. And earlier in the day, we've had this storm down here has had a report of a tornado in Kiowa County. This would be at 5:59, pretty much close to 6 o'clock. And again, this is the dominant cell right now in sections of Canadian County and Grady County. This will be and this definitely, yeah. Look at that hail core here on the composite reflectivity, and I think, yeah, I was going to say, looks like it's very consistent with previous scans. So likely what we're seeing here, a little bit of mixing in some of that air from, or some of the storm energy is mixing in at the ground, and that's where we're likely seeing that enhanced tornado potential, but we're likely seeing an intense hail core. And usually when you're seeing a hail core accompanied by a downdraft, likely what we're seeing here, it is estimating over tennis ball sized hail with this cell. So I'm inferring here, and yeah, even the wind gust reports of 82 miles per hour, and that is with the you can see the what we might be seeing here is in RFD, if I'm not mistaken. So the air, so you can see that really intense updraft, and I'm going to infer based off of this signature here, and I'm going to try and confirm this on dual pol. Probably not getting much data coming in to the radar, or it's going to try and refresh here. But it is very possible we are seeing what could be a tornado in progress, making its way into the Middleburg and Blackgird area and Blankard area. And this tornado has a very, if it's there, that tornado's there, it will likely make its way into McLean and some of that tornadic activity moving into sections of Cleveland counties. And what worries me...
Yeah, I just got a photo coming in on my chat.
What I'm concerned about is this cell here has, look at the way it's tracking. It may make its way to areas in southern Norman, potentially into Noble, Goldsby, and again, this would be the southern part of Norman, and this is where the Storm Prediction Center is housed, right around here. And you can see that this cell is making its way. It is tracking to where the Storm Prediction Center post is located. Or the campus of Oklahoma University. That is definitely going to be concerning.
Yeah, I got a photo I was going to show you, Isaac. And I was going to share this with. I'm going to share a photo with you quick.
Okay.
This is power flashes.
Yeah, and what is the source of that photo? Was that sent to us?
Well, that's what Ian found online.
Okay.
His friend sent that power flashes.
Okay, that's definitely helpful. And for those just now joining us, we are definitely keeping tabs with a pretty significant severe weather event here unfolding across central Oklahoma here, and tracking this cell here in Grady County. Definitely still looks to have some very substantial, some healthy rotation, kind of broadening out a little. Having said that, you can definitely see how tight it was in a previous scan, kind of right here. Again, a very broad but very strong rotation, nevertheless. You're seeing that pretty intense inflow notch, kind of aggressive look. What might be starting to happen here is a little bit of undercutting, a little above the surface there, with this little signature here. Still definitely some inflow and still looks to be tornadic at the moment. But while if the tornado's there now, with the new scan here just now coming in, still looks to be fairly tight. And look at that hail core making its way into the Newcastle area. That's definitely going to be something to watch out for. So while a majority of the central Oklahoma area from Logan County into much of Oklahoma, Cleveland, McLean, even down into Stephens, Jefferson, into, I was going to say a majority of central Oklahoma here as we speak is under severe thunderstorm warnings. And we have Grady County is the only tornado warning we have at this particular moment. This tornado warning may potentially be extended into Cleveland and McLean counties in a matter of minutes. We'll have to see what the folks at the National Weather Service say. But pretty much the whole line segment here from Oklahoma County into Cleveland and McLean counties, this is pretty much warned for significant wind damage being the more predominant hazard, but you're seeing that inflow notch kind of aggressive looking signature there, now making its way into McLean County,
Looks
Oklahoma
like the
there.
tornado warning got canceled.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like for the time being, we're not looking at a tornado warning. I think the surface kind of got a little bit undercutted. Yeah, this warning is being allowed to expire. We'll have to follow the next several scans. It's definitely
Isaac, I hate to interrupt, but we got a new tornado warning now.
okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I
No, that
do
was
believe.
no. Take that back. I think they just I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you might have looped back. That was the initial
I didn't mean to
warning.
do that.
But while there may not be a tornado warning in McLean and Cleveland counties now, that doesn't mean you have zero threat of a tornado. It just means that a majority of the area will see severe. I should say you are in a severe thunderstorm warning for a majority of Oklahoma. Yeah, lots of this activity now moving into Oklahoma County. But the most serious activity is now making its way into Cleveland and McLean County. McLean County, you can still see that aggressive-looking inflow signature, but the rotation kind of brought it out. The surface may have gotten a little undercutted by what might be a little bit of capping in there, or you may get a little bit of warmer air above the surface at times. But if we get some stronger inflow, some drier and some cooler air that might feed in near the ground with some of this activity here. Usually, what we look for in a classic supercell environment, that rain-free base, some just cool air that cuts in near the surface. And new velocity scan here looks like it might be trying to tighten up a little bit. So some of that cooler air above the ground looks like what that might do here. We get a stronger downdraft that might enhance some of the rotation we get with this, and not only produce the potential for significant hail, I think. Again, this definitely has a aggressive-looking mesocyclone signature, nevertheless. So a rotating column of moist air, saturated.
Hey,
air.
Isaac, new tornado warning. Just got a text on my phone from Tornado Outreach Center, and they showed it's going to be a new one issued.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like McLean and Cleveland counties. Give me one moment to confirm that. Yep, Cleveland and McLean County tornado warning until 8:30.
And the storm is capable of producing up to tennis ball size hail.
Yeah, I have confirmed that. Looks like near Blankard. This activity is moving east-northeast at about 35-ish miles per hour. They pretty much have the far southeast part of Oklahoma City. This would probably be near the Tinker Air Force Base area.
Yeah. I just got a report coming in. Coming in at 1.75 inches of hail.
Yeah, we've had various reports of potential for golf ball-sized hail with this. I do think the hail could be a little bit larger, given that the hail core that's making its way into the Norman area. So this is going to be a potential pretty serious situation here. Looks like the original severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings for sections of Canadian County, except for the eastern part, still severe warned, and Grady County, I would say all clear for the tornado threat. Now we're mostly just looking at Canadian and, or rather make that Cleveland and McLean counties. Canadian County, I would say all clear. And for folks in Chickasaw, I think the worst of it's past. We're probably still going to get more local storm reports from earlier as we get crews out here assessing some of the damage and whatnot, but still aggressive looking inflow signature there. And I do think that this has room to recycle. So the folks at the Weather Service and what we kind of infer as we get these tornado warnings, or if we infer there may be a warning that gets issued, is there's definitely room for the rotation to tighten up. The signature may not look may not look too aggressive on the velocity side, but what we've seen here is you can see that mesocyclone signature and some of the stronger inbounds that will be approaching the radar site fairly soon. But within minutes, we're going to be watching this very closely for folks in the northern
Yeah,
area.
just got a report coming in on my desk here, Isaac, of 80 miles a gust.
Yeah, and still very serious wind damage potential with that cell because.
So if you're in the area, you need to be taking cover now, right, Isaac?
Downburst winds. Yeah, I was going to say what I can confirm here. That's probably coming out of. I'm keeping a close eye on some of these additional reports that are coming in. 70.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, Isaac, I just want to tell these people, if you live in mobile homes, this is not the night to stay in them, right? Because this tornadoes we could be getting could flip a mobile home over, right?
Yeah, and advice for people living in mobile homes, recreational vehicles, or anyone that's out camping, you definitely want to keep an eye on the weather, have a handy way of receiving warnings, keep a close eye on the radar, and keep tuned to the radio, and definitely we want everyone to be paying very close attention to the weather situation as it continues to evolve, because what we're dealing with here, and we may have not seen terribly much to this point in terms of the strong tornadoes and whatnot, but I do think as we go further throughout the night, we've seen one dominant cell that's basically makes it, and originated in Kiowa County, further southwest of there. That's where the tail end of that, the west end of that moderate risk area. But we still got a long way to go. You can.
And I'm going to say even Tuesday is going to be an active day too. I mean, this is going to be an active couple of days. So just have your plan.
Following this particular storm system, definitely has the aggressive kind of look here. You can see the. You can kind of see where the winds kind of shift here. Look at the. We got a little bit of a dry line here. You can see ahead of this, we got muggy dew points here in the 60s, and on the back end, you definitely see some much drier, drier air here. Dew points in the 50s here, the lower 50s. So likely what we're seeing is the significant front here. But the surface dew points the gradient may not seem like much, but the dew points further aloft, we got definitely a highly unstable mixed layer. What my inference is for the remainder of the night here is storms track into east central northeast Oklahoma and east central Oklahoma as well. Again, definitely these storms will potentially remain semi-discrete, but predominantly we will be talking about a linear mode of storms as well. And still, we're still dealing with plenty of that residual instability from the peak daytime hours. However, we're still we got much drier air in advance of this line of storms, and generally and when you get that separation, that warm moisture, that cool dry air, and some of those strong low-level winds that back this environment, there definitely primed where you get lots of lift, instability, wind shear, and whatnot. I mean, pretty much in all mode of severe weather potential here, and I think you're in terms of the area, you're more likely to see damaging winds for the and then this not just exclusive to Oklahoma. We're pretty much.
We could see some in Illinois too.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep tabs with this weather system, and again, and into tomorrow, we're going to be talking about in advance of this upper level low pressure system making its way into potentially Missouri and Illinois. That front will stretch down well into the Missouri, or make that Mississippi Valley, stretching from the Great Lakes to the Mississippi Delta. We got pretty broad area outlook for potential severe storms, and we may be talking some tornadic cells making its way towards the Great Lakes and potentially Illinois, Indiana. Um, and I think that's where your more organized chance of seeing severe weather will be. But do bear in mind that again, damaging winds, hail, it can occur with any storm that develops in this kind of environment. And just given the reports I've been seeing here, and likely the same story for tomorrow with the how much instability we got to work with, and I think the situation for tomorrow we might be seeing. I would be interested in seeing how the dew points would compare here to like further well advanced in of this system and how it's tracking.
Yeah,
and
because
if we get higher vorticity with the upper
that's-
level low, that might help. Filter some of that.
I just watched my TV station, and it's showing the winds could blow around 44 miles an hour, and that just gives you plenty of sheared.
Well, yeah, even further in advance of this weather system, because again, that's likely some of the inflow and energy you got working with that too. And again, I will stress that tomorrow. I do think that we are still dealing with the same story, a fairly unstable mixed layer, and definitely room for some of that clear or some of that drier air filtering in. Flow kind of situation where we get cooler and drier air that helps increase in stability ahead of potentially what could turn into some of these low top surface based supercells that definitely would pose a risk for tornadoes.
Especially if you have winds over 40 miles an hour tomorrow, then that is still a possibility.
Yeah,
makes it even long sheared, right?
Well, yeah, and I would infer those would be thunderstorm winds that may not be associated with severe or non-thunderstorm associated winds, I should say. You'll probably be seeing some stronger winds aloft with the low-level jet, and likely what that will bring is while those winds sustained are not at the surface, you will likely see some gusts that mix in from aloft. And we may be talking potentially, or it could be close. I would not be surprised if we see gusts close to wind advisory criteria if they are long enough.
What about 50?
Yeah, what?
What about 50 miles of wind?
I mean, I would not rule out some isolated gusts that high in advance of this system, but I do think the strongest winds would be some of that low to mid-level flow. Generally, what we're more concerned about is how that aids in the development of supercells.
We just got another severe thunderstorm warning, Isaac.
Yeah, and that would be into a lot of North Texas is also warned for this line now stretching well into you can see Comanche, Stephens, Palo Pinto, Parker. Erath, Montague, if I'm not mistaken, that is Wise County, and you can definitely see the southern tail of that line definitely has that potential for some significant wind damage as well. And just inferring with some of the velocity data, I'm going to try and get a better perspective of this. You can definitely see we do have these inflow signatures there. Might be some.
What about a
never
new
know. We could
tornado
see some
watch?
supercells develop out of this line, but I do think a majority of this activity will be significant. I think down here some more outflow gusts, and with some of these stronger supercells that could, or some of these cells that do evolve down here, I
Yeah,
do
just
think you may get some stronger downburst gusts that may be 60 to 70
yeah, that's
miles per
not
hour.
good.
I
But
do think.
Storm Prediction Center is talking about issuing a new tornado watch for parts of Missouri too.
Uh, are you referring to just Missouri or hold on?
It's just at 719, a mesoscale discussion said tornado watch number 517 and new watch may be warrant for the region.
Yeah, that this would be downstream. Yeah, they are referring to northeast Oklahoma, sections of southeast Kansas and Missouri. So that is one of the downstream watches that they're considering. I would I would infer that the majority of eastern Oklahoma or the rest of central Oklahoma not already in a tornado watch, um, but a majority of those areas are likely under consideration for a downstream watch as well. I would definitely infer maybe they're going to be issuing another mesoscale discussion and some more. They'll be doing more press or sending working with. I'm sure they do lots of work behind the scenes. So before we get any new watches or anything,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely has a. We got to see what we got to have a thorough review of the mesoscale trends, some of the rapid refresh trends as well. See how that surface instability and ultimately that mixed layer instability, see how that low level helicity and everything kind of holds up with the environment out ahead of these cells here in the sections of Oklahoma, because and obviously in North Texas, Oklahoma, definitely fairly synoptic scale what we're seeing here in
Yep.
terms of how organized we're seeing this activity here. And we're definitely going to be following this cell very carefully here. And yeah, still have this for Cleveland and McLean County here, potential for tennis ball sized hail in addition to that threat of a tornado. Looks like that mesocyclone still has kind of an aggressive look.
Yeah.
It might be
If you're in
broadening
that
out
one,
at
you need to
times.
be shaking shelter.
Yeah, so uh, again, looks like for folks in Norman, I think my biggest concern for majority of the Norman area would be this hail, but you're still seeing that little inflow signature here. Looks like some of that might be somewhat undercut by some of this warm air and might get a little bit of an inversion layer here near the ground because of these lighter winds. I would say we're not seeing a strong RFD kind of signature like what we've seen earlier with this. My concern is while the rotation is definitely still there by all means, tornado could definitely touch down with this cell at any time. I do think that with this particular supercell, I think significant wind damage um, still possible here, but I do think hail potentially upwards of tennis ball, maybe
Wow.
even a bit. You never know, maybe even a bit larger could be a concern. I do think
Mm-hmm.
the downstream and the downstream environment here in the rest of the central Oklahoma, potentially in the eastern Oklahoma area, in this moderate risk. Um, I would still I would infer that they would issue another tornado watch for a remainder of this region. Um, so they previously outlooked today the chance for a few embedded strong tornadoes. I do think that is still possible here, but we're not going to be seeing we're totally not going to be seeing like widespread EF2, EF5 tornadoes like all over the area. So I would say maybe if we could see one or two of the dominant cells being our bigger tornado producers here. and I would definitely be watching this one that would be moving into Pottawatomie County here very soon into the Shawnee area, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously some of these areas. Um, whoops. Um, and some of these areas downstream here, potentially along the I-40 corridor.
Yep.
And still, I mean, the activity down here and further into Texas still have plenty of instability to work with. What our biggest concern is going to be down here is kind of how the low-level winds kind of interact with some of this strong east southeasterly flow. If we get a little bit more inflow that undercuts, we get some cold air that dips down near the ground, kind of makes the condition a little bit more right, where we get those where we get that stronger low level helicity and spin in the atmosphere. I do think that the potential would still be there for tornadoes, for more embedded, localized tornadoes being an issue for majority of the North Texas. Potentially, folks around in the Dallas area, Dallas Fort Worth area, not out of the question either. But I would say we're more talking about a couple of tornadoes being a possibility with this. We've just got to see if the environment kind of gets right for that. But I do think the dominant supercell concern, you can see these mesocyclones, maybe some supercells that try to develop uh, along this boundary here, or along this area of outflow. Generally, that generates supercells, but kind of more of a messy storm mode overall in the southern Oklahoma, west north Texas vicinity there. You can kind of tell here. I think further and further away from the radar, it gets a little bit less discernible, but still a little ways of a messy storm mode overall. So what my concern is down here, still some room for supercells, maybe some tornadic supercells to develop, but I do think that our biggest concern here would definitely be for wind damage along the boundary, or around along the gust front there, um, and still, I mean, we might be seeing some broadening rotation that could be a concern there. And let's say in Jefferson County, Oklahoma, there into Stevens County, even, and this would be more south central Oklahoma there, a little ways closer to the Texas border, or yeah, the Texas border there. So, and I'm going to see kind of the radar trends with that. Yeah, that looks to be somewhat tightening up. So, while I would not make the call for like a tornado warning right away,
Mm-hmm.
we're definitely going to bear watching on that, because that signature there, potential for more significant wind damage. Nevertheless, a lot of these vicinities under severe thunderstorm warnings as well, and sometimes what the National Weather Service says, they're not denoting it with this warning. The possibility of a tornado may eventually evolve with some of these cells that are in progress here, and I'm going to kind of get a somewhat better perspective here in the from the Fort Worth Cowley, Texas radar. Definitely some mesocyclones trying to develop. I would say even further down south here, looks like a little bit of a hail core approaching the Comanche area, and this would be just west of the Dallas Fort Worth area. So just kind of giving you an idea how broadly scaled we're seeing this severe weather, stretching from a majority of Oklahoma, the central part of Oklahoma here, from the I would say the most.
You there?